Welcome everybody to the Browns Mock Draft 3.0. We're gonna get right to it and we're gonna see how we do here. So let's go here and enter this draft. It's only gonna be 3 rounds. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do trade downs or not. Let me see what's available first, right? So let's enter the draft and let's see who's gonna be the picks, who's we have available. So as you can see, Fernando Mendoza went already. So that's Ruben Bain, Alvaro Reese, Sonny Styles, Francis Mainoa. Ooh, Francis Mainoa is gone. And we still have Jeremiah Love, David Bailey, Caleb Downs, Mansour Delaney, Carnell Tate. We still got Spencer Fano, Morno Freeling. So I don't know here, do we want to go with best player available or do we go for positional need? So let me see what are the trade options, right? We have the Bengals here who are willing to trade, and then the Vikings. But I think going down to the Vikings is a lot, and I might lose something here. Let me see what the Bengals have to offer. Could I get a first rounder? No, I won't be able to get a first rounder. Let's see if I trade my 39 for the 41st also. It might be, no, I'm not feeling it. Now with the Vikings, if I go here, I could definitely get a first rounder and the 49th pick. And I don't know how the Browns feel about that. A trade down so far down. I do know that it gives us options and we get an extra pick. We get an extra pick here. Oh, wow. So you can get a first and a second rounder. I don't think that's realistic, so I'm not going to go for this trade. So let me just draft a player. Let me just draft a player here. And I think we are going to go. Do we go with tackle or do we go with wide receiver, right? What's the best bang for a buck? I think Carnell Tate will be the safe bet here. When we talk about Carnell Tate has been number 1 every board. And we drafted him last time. I think I'm going to stick with him. As you can see, his overall grade is 88.6. His receiving grade is 89.0. I mean, he didn't have any drops this past year. He had 6 missed tackles, force, 11 deep catches, 7 screen catches. I'm kind of feeling, Carnell Tate here. Again, he's 21 years old, 6'3", 195 pounds. I mean, so he is somebody to be looking at. I don't know if there's anybody else I'd rather take than Carnell Tate. As we know, his strengths are, he has very nice cuts on his routes breaks, especially to the inside. Pound for pound, a good blocker with consistent fundamentals. He has an arm length and catch radius appears to match his long frame. He shows a high level of understanding of route running nuance, releases, and how to attack defensive backs, and 0 holding calls on more than 600 blocking snaps in his career. That is great to hear. Some of the things that he can work on, he will benefit from added weight and strength. Stop and sit ability on curls and comebacks could be crisper. Needs play speed and twitchiness to increase as he continues to grow into his frame. And I think he'll be good. He has a 36.67% separation rate, which is above the class average, which is a 32.95, so it's above that. Zone single is a 50% separation rate. In zone, 45%. Man single, 34.48%. Zone double, 19.44%. And zone single with help, 20%. I think he'd be really, really good to pick here. Talking about Carnell Tate. Let me see another of the options that I have here, because you have some groundbreakers right here in Jeremiah Love, Caleb Down, David Bailey. It's really hard. But let me also look at Spencer Fano. I want to look at Spencer Fano. As you can see, he's 6'6", 308 pounds, 21 years old. He's somewhat undersized for the position, you know. But he has a rating of 83.9. Last year, he had 92.6. He did play left tackle in 2023. He played right tackle the last 2 years. He could be a guard too. So it's interesting to see what we can do with Spencer Fano, as he is really, really good to have here. So, oh my God. So I don't know what we can do here. But Spencer Fano is a really, really good person to have. And I'm just trying to see what can I do with Spencer Fano. So, I mean, Spencer Fano from Utah, his strength are he's light on his feet, impressive lateral movements to recover without lunging, good potential as an outside zone blocker due to his coordinated movement skills, angles defenders well to wall of rushers without imposing strength, competitive player who plays through the whistle, has the athletic fluidity to be an effective pass blocker, constant leg drive allows him to overcome a lack of displacement power, vice grip hands, and his areas of growth, right? He's light on a scale and on the field for an offensive tackle. That's why I say he might have to be a guard. Doesn't naturally generate a ton of power at contact. Needs to get stronger to have more consistent anchor, inconsistent hand placement, and in pass protection. Often too wide at the shoulders. So I'm pretty torn here. He had this year 440 run block snaps, 382 pass block snaps. He played 12 games. Very, very, very consistent. And then I want to also see Monroe Freeling while I'm here. I think I'm between these three players here. Monroe Freeling, 21 years old, 6'7", 315 pounds. Hasn't been playing for much, you know. He has the least experience out of all three of these players. He has a 72.3 overall grade. 14 games played for the Bulldogs. 891 offense snaps. 422 run block snaps. 469 pass block snaps. 2 sacks. 6 hurries. And he played left tackle the last 2 years. So here's against somebody who might be somebody we need to look at. I'm wondering if he's ready, especially for the number 6 pick. You know, if he's ready, I don't know. He has some strength, a lot of strength, well above average size and length to play tackle in the league. Good lower back posture to generate leverage and power in run blocking. Nimble on his feet with a quick base to mirror. Good baseline of strength and techniques for downhill run blocking. Natural enough athlete to pulls and blocks in space. Can cover a ton of ground in his kick slides on vertical sets. And the areas of growth, he needs to be better at anticipating moves to the inside shoulder, as the misses can be bad. He lets defenders get their hands into his chest too easily and too often. Strike timing and placement need refinement, which can come with more snaps. Needs to continue getting stronger to increase displacement and grip strength. Now, we also have, again, Jeremiah Love, David Bailey, Caleb Down. But I think that Carnell Tate has the highest floor, so I'm going with Carnell Tate here. And we address our wide receiver situation right away. So let's go with Carnell Tate here. And let's see who gets picked here, right? As we can see, it is our pick, but David Bailey was picked, Caleb Down, Jeremiah Love, Mansour Delaney, Kenyo Sadiq, Spencer Fano, Monroe Freeling, Oliver Vega Ayon, Dylan Thieneman, CJ Allen, Jordan Tyson, Keldrick Falk, Omar Cooper Jr., Makai Lemon. Oh, that's impressive. The Omar Cooper went up ahead of Makai Lemon, and Jordan Tyson went ahead of both of them. Akeem Messiter, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and Avion Terrell. So we have some options here. And I think here I'm going to do the same thing I did on one of the other drafts. And I might have to go with Caden Proctor here. Again, I don't know how many more opportunities I will have at a left tackle. And I'll be surprised if Caden Proctor's still here at 24 in the, in the draft next week. But he's 20, about to be 21 years old. He's 6'7", 366. I know weight is an issue with him. He has an overall grade of 86.1, 15 games played for the Alabama Crimson Tide, 985 offense snaps, 369 run block snaps, 611 pass block snaps, 2 sacks, 4 hits, 15 hurries. He has been a left tackle his whole career. So that is something good to have here with him. And let's look at his strength and his weaknesses, right? Let's see what we can expect from him. His behemoth frame naturally makes him tough to get around or through. Well-distributed weight for such a high number. Has a good initial first step in pass protection despite his size. Good balance and core strength to absorb pass rushers, power, and anchor. Imposing upper body power. Can anchor quickly with his size and technique. Has good hand technique up and at the ready before and after the initial punch. Now, some of his areas of growth, right, is naturally harder for him to cover a lot of ground given his overall size. Feet are heavy after his initial step. It's hard to get to target points in pass protection. He can struggle to redirect his power and feet against stunts. Sometimes wants to push rushers instead of truly standing them up and staying in front. Has the power to be more patient and not dip his head and lunge as much. Arm length could be on the shorter side, which will bring up talks of a potential move to guard. So this is interesting here. What we can get from Caden Proctor. And I think that at this point right here, this is who I would want if I was the Browns. You can always go corner with Jeremy McCoy, but I think right here I want to address my areas of needs. So let's go with Caden Proctor here. And let's see what falls on us on 39, right? So let's see who's still here for 39. And woo, I have Caleb Lomo here. Jeez, is this gonna be all offense? I get Caleb Lomo here. I mean, he is an area need, and he's the top prospect to what I have left here. And as you see, Caleb Lomo is 21 years old, just turned 21, 21.2, 6'6", 308 pounds. His overall rate is 68.4. He played 12 games for the Utah Utes, 823 offense snaps, 440 run block snaps, 383 pass block snaps, 2 hits, 6 hurries, and a true left tackle. I think Drafting Caleb Lomu here will address a couple of things. Number one is now I have an option with him and Caden Proctor of a left tackle and a left guard. Whoever I feel can be better in the long term as my left tackle, I will leave him as a tackle, and then the other one moving to a guard if I see that's what's best for the team. And we're talking about two guys who, if they're productive, if they produce, they might be the starting of part of the starting offensive line for the Browns for the next 8 years or so. So Caleb Lomu's strength looks like an NFL offensive tackle every snap, okay? So this guy is an offensive tackle. Adequate frame and arm length. Good mover in zone blocking schemes. He has a finisher's mentality. We love to hear that. Very good core strength and postures to hand, fight, and stay in front of rushers. Very good eyes for where the pressure is coming from. Shows an understanding of when to snatch bull rushers. His areas of growth. Hands can be a tad late to fire and initiate contact. The pad level is generally high. Can miss on aiming points when flashing his hands. Still getting offensive line IQ and anticipation for a young player. He could stand to add a bit more weight for strength and density. Again, I think that Caleb Lomu might be good here, you know. I'm just wondering here how we can, if we were to get him, how would this work, you know, with him and Caleb Lomu? But I think this is the way to go. I really think this is the way to go. So yeah, let's draft Caleb Lomu and let's see what we have available for 39. So, I mean, for 70, because we already have 39, but Caleb Lomu, definitely a win with Caden Proctor and Carnell Tate. Please let me know in the comment sections if you agree with the players that I'm drafting, or should I finish with my offensive line, right? And go with Kalen Rutledge, a guard from Georgia Tech. Overall grade 76.7, 13 games played. 872 offense snaps, 432 run block snaps, 440 pass block snaps, 2 hits, no sacks, 4 hurries. So right guard. And remember, the Browns are trying to build the offensive line for the future. He is 22 years old. He's 6'4", 330 pounds. So Kalen Rutledge has a good size with stocky, thick build. Aggressive player who drives and finishes. Play with old school mean streak. Solid straight line athlete with burst out of stance. Effective puller and able to climb to second level to reach linebackers. Good anchor and grip strength to shut down bull rushes in pass protections. Works to refit hands in pass pro. Durable and available who shows toughness all around. I mean, the areas of growth, inconsistent first contact that creates too many stalemates. Stiffer player who struggles to change directions while on the move against moving targets. Prone to falling off block in space. Will open gate in pass protection, dropping foot and letting defenders beat him on his edges. Struggles more against finesse move than power. Pad level can get a little upright. Almost exclusively played just one position in college. And one thing about Kalen Rutledge, he did not allow a single sack during his most recent season. Over his final 2 seasons at Georgia Tech, he allowed 0 sacks across 809 pass blocking snaps. I mean, he is considered an elite pass blocking guard heading to the NFL. And you can see here, oh my God, this is... I think I'm going to go with Kalen Rutledge here. You guys tell me your opinions. I think we're gonna go with him. And that's it for our draft. Let's see what grade we get. Do we get a good grade or a bad grade? You guys let me know in the comment section your opinions, your thoughts. But how would you feel if this were the players or the athletes that the Browns picked? Carnell Tate, Caden Proctor, Caleb Lomu, and Kalen Rutledge. I think we will have our number one wide receiver in Carnell Tate, and then we just get young in the offensive line. That's a grade of A-. But again, what are your thoughts? I have one more mock draft coming before the draft, and then we're gonna have some draft results here, right? And reactions to the Browns to see what they get. Again, guys, let me know what your thoughts. All right, it'll be until next time.